matching hundreds. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden NFL football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. It'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Nightfall in Minneapolis in December usually spells freezing temps, and that is precisely the case outside these walls. But we are a comfortable 72 degrees inside U.S. Bank Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jackson. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Boy, an aggressive play call to start this game. It backfired, but aggressive, no question about that.
Is that one of those statement calls? Trying to let you know that they're going to be aggressive right out of the gate, but that one hung up just a little bit too long. He made a nice play on the ball defensively and was able to pick it off.
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And the division title out of reach, we know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
So it's just a matter of adjusting now, isn't it? And what I mean by that is mentally. Every team starts the season thinking, let's go for the number 1 seed, right? Being the top team. Number 2 is pretty great, too, because you get the opening bye, and you're at home after that. But it doesn't matter at this point. Just getting in, and you just sit down and talk to your team. Would you rather go on the road and deal with someone, or would you rather stay at home for the playoffs? Let's go on the road and go take someone out.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man of the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
You see me? You see me?
Safety, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Here's Jones. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. 13 yards, 1st down Packers. Late in the season now, MVP chatter starts, and he might be on the fringe. This is always an award that goes quarterback, running back, usually quarterback. A lot of bias. Does he deserve consideration?
He more than deserves consideration, because the way the game is played in the NFL now, it's a pass-first league, right? So that means that people are going to adjust their defenses for him each and every week, and he's still putting up big-time numbers. I know the quarterbacks, the running backs get it, but he should be firmly in the race for MVP.
Well, he did everything but get him in the end zone there, but now they're set up. Golden opportunity, strong opening drive, and they're knocking on the door.
And the way that they did it, now look where they are on the field, all right? This is naturally set up for a running play, isn't it? But with his ability to throw the football, his accuracy on this drive, you might want to think about a pass play in this situation.
Interesting. Time to find out. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
You got 300. You got 300.
And again, it's Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. Touchdown number 18 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers. A 10-play drive that time. And the result, a Green Bay score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And now out comes Minnesota.
Not the start that they were hoping for. The interception on the first play of the game. It leads to 6 points the other way. How do you rebound from here?
Yeah, a little bit of humor. Got to laugh that one off and not the ha-ha. That was very funny, but kind of like, can you believe that just happened? Let's go out and play now. Let's just start over.
A good run there to start the drive. 13 yards, first down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Defenses always have a goal of holding a runner under 100 yards. Well, he went over 150 last week, won NFC Player of the Week award honors. And guess what? He's got a chance to do it again because of that vision he has. He sees holes that maybe don't exist.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Back to throw. Fields. And on the connection, this is Ryan Izzo, complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 19.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Cook following the penalty. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And you can see they're in second place in the division, but they have clinched postseason football. They have the best record among the wild card contenders, but you never really feel comfortable when you're down around that 5 or 6 slot, do you?
No, you don't. You figure you've got to close the deal. You've got to make sure you clinch that spot to make sure you keep your place in the tournament, in the playoffs. But the other part, too, is the coaching staff. All year they've talked about getting a high seed, clinching home field. Now that talk changes to, hey, we're in. That's all that matters. Let's go on the road and take care of business.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And that is caught. One-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way down to the 24-yard line.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Pull it high. Hey, switch gears.
Rodgers going to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Yeah, I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point try now for Crosby. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't
Yeah,
you?
I am impressed. That
Thank
means
you.
2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
After one, a 14-3 ball game.
Here we go.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll wind up getting 3 on the keeper there, but it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Let's go.
A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Rodgers throwing again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Now Jones, and he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
Now Jones. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Get 300. Get 300. 49, guys. Mike, 49. You don't want that.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to... stretch that lead out further. Now Crosby for the point after. And now it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. Before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spend a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
59, Mike. Check, 59. Drop deep. Set, go.
They start the drive with Cook. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun. Fields. He's got Smith here. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
On 3rd down, Fields. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Za'Darius Smith, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here's Aaron Jones in the offense, trotting back out. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Chandler Jones in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Well, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. The Packers on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Rodgers' throw is taken in by Jones. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Rodgers looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 2nd and 3.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Looking to throw. Fields. And this one complete to Smith. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. From the gun, Fields. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Jones. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll try again with Jones. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Rodgers now on 3rd and goal. And he's got it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. They'll run it with Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Crosby connects on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down.
We play to win.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, where you see the final score there. Josh Allen, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Houston Texans. Will Fuller, a touchdown catch in the victory. And finally, on Monday Night Football, should be a good one there, between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Bucks. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front, as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Let's put him on the buses. Let's put that.
From the 25 on 2nd down, Rodgers, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now this throw caught left side. 22 yards there, a 1st down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Rodgers to throw. Looking for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Mike, 49. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here. Mike's 49. Mike.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They run it again with Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Well, that'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Out comes Devontae Adams in the offense for their next drive. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting him, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
2019. Check, 154, 154. Right left. I got you. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Kill 319.
From the 25 on second down, Rodgers has got the hook up to Lazard. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On first down, Rodgers. It's caught, Smith. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. This complete to Jones. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 32-yard line.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Watch it slant. Watch it slant. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4, Mike's by 4. That's right, baby.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. To the outside, that's complete to Williams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. 4 touchdown passes now for Aaron Rodgers as his guys continue to pour it on. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Extra point try now for Crosby. And the lead will grow by 1 more. That time, a 9-play drive. And the result, a Green Bay score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
A quick throw taken in by Diggs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. To throw on 2nd down. Fields. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Back to throw. Fields setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 22.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
He's going to loft one deep left. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way down to the 5. It's a big one there for the Vikings. And even 40 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through.
Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Sheldon Richardson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to make it 4th down.
This defense continues to be good on 3rd down. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown. Offensively, are you saying, let's go for this? Let's try to get it in the end zone.
I don't know about that because of what you just described. They've been so good, and they don't give up the big play that you would expect in downs 1 through 3. Why should 4th down be any different? True. You might want to go ahead and kick the field goal. And see if you can figure out something else as this game moves on.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
On first down, Newman. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Again, he was looking for Devontae Adams, and it's second down. They go back to the ground with Jones. Hopkins. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
This quarterback now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
Operating from the gun, Newman. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Now this one complete on the slant route. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Looking to throw. Fields. And he's able to find Diggs. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. He's got Smith here. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Back to throw. Fields.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again, Fields. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10, mark him down at the 9. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. From the gun, Fields. And that is caught. And they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Marching back onto the field now, Devontae Adams and company getting set to go. This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that a mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Green Bay, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Philly to take on the Eagles. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.